WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight on Stark County. Pam and Gary Rivers.
Welcome to our Wednesday morning edition of Spotlight on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Doesn't Gary have a nice new haircut, Facebook fans?
Oh, brother. It's those little things in life.
I know.
It's all I've got left.
And it looks good. We are live on Facebook right now at 1480 WHBC. Just go and like our page, and you can watch all of our Facebook videos that we do. And, of course, we're live on the air as you hear us right now. Every Wednesday morning, Spotlight on Stark County. And today, our Spotlight is on Pathway Caring for Children, celebrating its 45th year of service. My goodness gracious.
Wow.
All right, so we've got a cast of thousands here to introduce to you today. First of all, we have Recruitment Director Patricia Lott. We've had you on before.
Yes,
We're welcome back. Also, Marcy Girdlestone, Mental Health Director. We've asked her to stay after to help us with our mental health.
Yes, good morning.
3 to 4 weeks would be maybe enough.
I've had my coffee. I'm ready to go.
And then we have what Marcy and Patricia feel is the more important person in the room, and that happens to be a foster mom by the name of Christy Kadlacek. Did I say that right?
You did.
Yay!
Good morning.
All right. Welcome, everyone.
Thank
We're
you.
so glad to
Thank you.
have you. Well, Patricia, let's start with you. First of all, for folks who may not know, let's fill them in on what Pathway Caring for Children is.
Sure. Pathway Caring for Children has been in Stark County. Actually, this is our 45th year. So since 1973, we have been making a difference with children and family and growing our programs throughout the years. And what my focus is finding homes for children. So I am in need of foster parents. And that is my reach today, hoping that someone out there may be hearing this story, may hear Christy talk a little bit about the warm and good feelings she gets from fostering, and some of the other feelings that maybe aren't so warm and good, but she perseveres. And maybe inspiring somebody to reach out and call and find out what it takes to move forward in the foster parent process.
How many foster parents are you in need of? Is there a number, or are you just is it a constant flow that you need?
It's a constant flow that we need. We serve 10 counties, and the need is huge. Receiving about 25 to 30 referrals a week, and trying to place as many children as we can.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a tall task for sure.
It is.
That is. That's amazing. The numbers, are they continuing to grow? And I almost don't want to go into the need and the reason why, but I think it bears talking about.
It does, and it fluctuates. There are times when the need seems more. Right now, at the end of school, a lot of times some children will be going back home, being reunited, which is a good thing. Always looking for family members to do kinship care and be able to take care of their children. However, the need is still really, really there.
So if someone wants to become a foster parent, what's the process for them?
Well, the first thing they would do is reach out, give me a call. They can also go on our website, pathwaycfc.org. They can call me directly in my office number, 330-818-0444. And we would get together. I would mail them an information packet, see if they'd like to come in one-on-one for an interview, and see if it sounds like something they'd like to move forward with. And then they would start a 43-hour training process. And it gives them a little bit of time to learn more about Pathway, and us, of course, to learn a little bit more about the family and to see how best we can serve this family. And possibly 3 to 4 months down the road, then they are a licensed home. It's a state of Ohio license, good for 2 years. And then we begin calling you and discussing with you what sort of child would work best in your home. And then, of course, there's wraparound services, and Marcy is here, and she'll talk a little bit about her piece, where we do support the children and families that we take care of.
So that, again, that, like she was saying, that's maybe the next step, or just a part of all of this whole service that's offered. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Absolutely. So as the mental health director, I supervise all of our mental health services. So we provide counseling and case management and group services for the children and their families, and not just for the foster children, but for any child or family in need in our community with a mental health need. What we do with our foster families, we feel is very important as a wraparound, because as Christy can tell you, these children come with baggage. They come with history, and the foster families are with them 24/7. It's an intense job, a rewarding job, but very intense. And so our mental health services, our therapists and case managers are there to support not just the child, but the entire family.
Wow. Well, I guess it probably would be a good idea to talk to Christy here a little bit. We'll kind of, so first of all, let's talk about how you got to this place. I mean, what spurred you to say, I'm going to do this?
Well, my husband and I fostered before we had biological children. So we've been married 31 years almost. So around 28 years ago, we started fostering. And we had a teenager first, and then another teenager, and then a half sibling of one of the teenagers came along, and we had those two children for 3 years, and then we started our own family, and it was I would say, and I think probably most, I would think foster parents would say it's probably one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but it's time well spent.
All right, and when you say fostering, because it's different than adopting, you have them for a set period of time, or is that time mandated, or is that a time that it just depends on where they're at in life?
Depends on where they're at in life. The goal with the county when the children are placed with us is always reunification. We know that the best place for children is with their families if that's a safe and loving environment. If not, we're looking to place the children, and I usually will say to people it could be 2 weeks to 2 years. We never really exactly know.
Wow.
All right, so what happened in your case? You had those teenagers, and obviously you started with one and said, oh, I got this. Maybe I can try another. Did you have them at the same time?
No. The first was reunited with his family, and that was a good thing. The next two children, their mom was not able to complete her treatment program. It was a rough go, and so we did adopt them. And even, I would say, and here's the thought that I would throw out there is that it's not a destination that comes together very quickly. It's a long journey. They were with us for 3 years, and the behaviors of the 10-year-old, he was 7, and then at 10 were so, they were threatening to, I did have a baby. He became a danger to our younger children, and so we had to have him removed. And that was never going to change us having young children around him. So, but here he is in his 30s. We still have contact with him. He's doing well. He is married. He holds a job.
And still keeps in touch with you.
Yes.
That's great.
And so I would say if I would have looked at his future at 10, it was very dark. Mm-hmm. And I was not real hopeful for his future. But we did have a caseworker who had worked with teenagers, and he said, I have seen that some of these children who have very traumatic, abusive when they're young, that they hit those teen years, and sometimes because they're able to understand what happened and work through it, that they can come out with help and with therapy, come out and be productive. And I think that, citizens, that's the goal. I think you have to see that it's a marathon. And so even now, we've had a child for almost a year now. And he had a lot of trauma. And so it's not something that's just going to go away really quickly. It takes a long time to build trust, where they see you are the same person every day.
Mm-hmm. Right. And how does that work out with the other children you have, your natural kids?
Well, our youngest is 14 and 16 that are still at home. We have 6 biological children, and they are amazing. And I would say for those that are concerned, I mean, it's been a really good fit because our foster child is 7. So there's this really great relationship that my biological kids can really encourage and foster that family dynamic and set an example of, how, because a lot of times they don't really know what a family looks like.
Right.
So it's a whole huge learning curve for them. And they have to test it. Like, are you really going to do what you say you're going to do? Why should I believe that you're really going to be there for me? So it's a lot of, they need to have a sense of control. So I had some really good advice from a seasoned foster mom who said to me, one of your biggest obstacles is going to be your own pride. And I have come back to that because you have to be ready to be offended. and because you can't parent them the way you parent your other kids because your kids don't come from this traumatic background. Right. So you have to be willing to say, well, would you like this or this? I didn't do that with my other kids. I'd say, no, you have the blue bowl today. And that's it. And so that they have a feeling of that you hear them, you see them, they have some control. And it can be over really little things. You're still the parent. You're still in charge. But you're conceding some things that maybe you wouldn't normally.
But now do your kids come back and go, but how come I can't have mac and cheese?
Well, and I think that's the beauty of my kids being older. They do understand.
They understand that.
And I think, too, you can prepare your children for that, and saying they didn't have what you had. They don't understand. So I'm blown away how long-suffering my kids are. And they really are. So kudos out to my kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, why don't we take our first break? We'll be back in just a moment on Spotlight on Pathway Caring for Children.
Sourcebook is here. It's the area's most valuable resource guide for residents and businesses alike. Filled with online and on-site contacts, activities, destinations, and more. It's everything you need to know about Stark County and beyond. Get your Sourcebook at the WHBC studios or log on to WHBC.com for a list of pickup locations. And look for the Hackenberg Financial Group $1,000 contest entry on page 11, the 2018 Sourcebook. Pick one up today.
Professional truck drivers, Schneider's new trucks are here, designed for driver comfort. New team trucks have refrigerators, memory foam mattresses, and Sirius XM radio with subscription. Most new solo trucks have APUs, refrigerators, and memory foam mattresses. All new trucks and over 2/3 of Schneider's fleet have automated transmissions. Get full truck details and a simplified zip code driver job search at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Rankle and Reese Motor Cars opened its doors in 1998. For over 20 years, Rankle and Reese has provided quality hand-picked vehicles with the best financing around. Credit worries? No problem. With the best financing options available, you can get a nicer, newer car with payments you can handle. Your next car, truck, or van, or SUV is waiting along with the friendly staff. So stop on out at Rankle and Reese Motor Cars, 4805 Tuscarora Street West in Canton, or online at rankleandreesemotorcars.com.
Mark's Hartville has been remodeled and it's open for business. And there is savings, celebration, and fun for every member of the family. This is one hot new store, and the store-wide savings during Mark's re-grand opening celebration are sizzling hot. Expanded produce and pharmacy, new cold cut counter, larger aisles, and much more. Mark's, where savings are smart, living is fresh, and now even bigger and better. At Mark's Hartville, 900 West Maple Street.
Ryan! I don't know how else to say this, so I'll just say it.
What is it, Linda?
I think we should see other people.
Are you breaking up with me? On a roller coaster?
Well, we do have a lot of fun. Maybe we should stay together.
An emotional roller coaster? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I just need a little me time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
All right, returning to Pathway Caring for Children this morning.
I'm still shaking my head because she said 6 biological kids.
Right.
And then all these foster children.
Right.
God bless you. I'm just going to say that right now.
You know what? Let me jump in on that. There are times that the busier you are, people do better. I have some of my foster parents, they are juggling so much and they do it so well. And so sometimes I think chaos is bliss.
You know what? I think you're absolutely right. That's Gary, I think you operate that way.
Oh, don't even go down. Yeah.
You do, though. I mean, you're always, you're going, doing, right?
Yeah, I got one going to Washington, D.C. tomorrow. Oh, my gosh. Every outfit under the sun tried on 375
Absolutely.
times.
Come on now.
A school trip?
A school trip.
If you'd like to watch it, she's on Marco Polo telling the entire family every outfit every hour. We can follow along.
Follow along what outfits are going to be worn. Well, we should say, this is our Spotlight on Stark County, our Wednesday morning edition of a show that we like to spotlight different agencies and people who are doing great things in Stark County, and one of them being Pathway Caring for Children. And we have with us Patricia Lott, who is the recruitment director, Marcy Girdlestone, who is the mental health director, and then foster mom Christy Kadlachek, who's been sharing her story with us. And I'm just sitting here shaking my head, and I'm not going to say our age on the radio, but you were saying that, you were hopeful that maybe there would be some foster parents that would be in your age group, because there is a different wisdom as you get older, right?
I think so. I also think that my husband, I'll say my husband's age. I won't say ours.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
He is 62, and I think as you get older and you get closer to, the retirement age, I think people want a purpose. And I just think the battle is what you should be doing with that time as maybe your biological kids are getting older, and I know there's grandkids and things like that, but I would say that this is a really good time of your life to spend, well spent, fostering. I think you have a lot to offer, and I think you're just going to kind of battle the culture a little bit, though, that says, here you've worked all these years and now you're going to do this when you could travel, because it's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And but I don't think you'd have regret investing in a young person's life.
And you've taken, you have some now, right? Or one now? One now. And do you foresee yourself continuing on with this and maybe another one down the road? Or do you not plan like that?
I don't plan like that because you just don't know. We feel that we were doing what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Right.
So we'll just.
All right, but after hearing your story, I'm thinking, is she putting that bar so high, some folks are looking at her going, I don't know about that.
No.
I mean, how did you feel when you first got in versus where you're at today?
Yeah, what was your original thought? Like when you made the call and said, I'm going to do this? What spurred you to do that? What made you say, I think I can?
This time around or a long time ago?
In the beginning, a long time ago.
I think in the beginning, we just... I think going in, and I think too, Pat would attest to this, just when I sat in orientation, I think you're young and you think, I love kids and I want to help kids. But there is a naivety, there was, I think, back then, going into it. And I don't know, I think I would really advise people to talk to people who have done it for a while. Because one of the children, I said his behaviors were really difficult. And I remember going to church one Sunday, just overwhelmed, exhausted, and there was a mom there talking to me, and her mom was visiting, and she grew up in a foster home, her parents fostering, and her mom came over to me. So here she's been fostering for like 25 years. And she said to me, why do you think you're the only person who can help this child? Because you feel this weighted responsibility. And I don't think I had done a good job of really getting help from people through the county. And because I think it's really important that you build a support system. And Pathway has been amazing at giving us support. I mean, they want the child is the priority, but so is our family. And that's made all the difference.
Yeah, that's great.
So you don't feel alone doing it.
Do you think, Pat, that there is a better situation when a foster parent has children of their own, or is a person that maybe does not have children? Is there any better situation, or does it not really matter?
I love, one of my favorite lines is, I love when people are clued in and seasoned and know that some of the difficulties they're going to experience are just regular kids. I had a foster parent once say to me, "I don't want a child placed with me that lies." And I'm thinking, that's an unrealistic expectation.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
So I do like people with a little bit of age because that means they've had life experiences and they've seen some things that don't work well in parenting and some things that work better. And I think that just gives a more happy result, personally. So.
And then if they have other kids, is that helpful too?
I think so too. As long as all the kids are on board, that is part of the process. Where, as the home study moves along, we do talk with the other kids in the home and ask them, what are their thoughts on this? How do they feel like with sharing their parent, with sharing their home? And so we do get pretty detailed on that.
All right, before we take a break, I know you want to mention that you have training that's getting ready to start. Maybe you can tell folks again the phone number, how to call, and then what that training will be.
Sure. The training that will be starting the end of June in our Canton office. It will be a Tuesday and Thursday evening from 6 to 9. I don't have the exact dates yet because we work on that as we move along, but it is a probably about a 2.5 month process. And they could give me a call to find out more, get an information packet from me, come on in, meet with me. If you call 330-818-0444, I'd be happy to talk with you in detail about this process.
All right. Well, we're going to take our next break, actually, and we've got news, weather, and sports coming up. And on the other side of that, more with Pathway Caring for Children.
So talented, and when they start to feel it, it is fun to watch.
Lindor with a drive into deep right. Nobody trying to catch that bomb. They all trying to get out of the way.
They're running around the bases and creating energy.
Ball's still in the warning track. He's being waved home. There will be no throw to the plate.
It hasn't been the prettiest.
The Tribe on WHBC.
DJ Chavez, director of Sing Stark, with Voci, inviting you to join us tonight at the Canton Brewing Company. Because at 7 p.m. sharp, the magic happens. So bring your best voice and let's listen to the music. No, let's sing it and make the Doobie Brothers proud. We'll also learn Eye of the Tiger, and when we're done, we'll all sound like pros. So bring a $5 cover charge, all your friends, tonight, and let's have a Sing Stark blast.
It's the Memorial Flooring Sale at Hosner Carpet One Floor and Home. Find store-wide savings on hardwood and luxury vinyl floors, carpet, laminate, tile, and more. See the totally restyled line of Relax It's Lee's carpets with the only 25-year no-exclusion stain warranty. It's yours at special introductory pricing. Plus, there's a special 18-month financing for qualified buyers. Hurry in and get more without paying more. The Memorial Flooring Sale only at Hosner Carpet One, across from Central Catholic High School in Perry Township.
Ready for shorts and swimwear? If not, get in shape with help from Physicians Weight Loss Centers. They're there to encourage and help you melt those pounds away. Located on Dressler Road, Denise at Physicians Weight Loss will provide a free consultation and teach you how to get healthy and into those summer clothes.
I'm Verndale from Verndale's Water Center. Did you know Verndale's Water Center is the best place to buy your salt, softener salt, agricultural salt, even swimming pool salt? So make Verndale's Water Center your source for high-quality salt at a great price.
This is WHBC AM Canton, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
I'm Jim Michaels with 1480 WHBC News. Now 64 degrees. The Altman Health Foundation completed its acquisition of Alliance Community Hospital earlier this year. Now it's ready to cross county lines. The Canton-based healthcare system signing a letter of intent with Pomerane Hospital, according to a news release from the Millersburg facility. Altman hopes to have Pomerane in the fold by early next year. The two entities are not new to one another. They have worked together as members of the Independent Hospital Network for over 20 years. A national organization that supports legalized sports betting sees Ohio moving forward with it in the near future. Casey Clark with the American Gaming Association says just look at how racino and casino expansion has gone in the state.
Ohio has really benefited significantly from expansion of gaming over the last several years. So I would expect that Ohio would start to look at this.
Clark says Monday's U.S. Supreme Court decision brings sports betting out of the shadows. New Jersey has legislation in place and could be seeing that first legal bet on Memorial Day weekend.
The interim Ohio Speaker of the House from Stark County has put the process of naming a permanent speaker on hold, with the Republican caucus unable to come up with enough of a majority vote to satisfy him. Representative Kirk Schuring has called off today's full House vote on a speaker. Rep. Brian Smith got the most votes among the three candidates, but he did not reach the 50% threshold. North Korea threatening to cancel the June summit with President Trump.
The Trump administration is moving forward with plans for the historic summit in Singapore until it hears otherwise from North Korea. State Department spokesperson Heather Nauert says the military exercises on the Korean Peninsula are nothing out of the ordinary.
They're certainly not provocative. These are things that we do all around the world with many of our partners and allies.
The threat to scrap the summit is seen as a move by Kim Jong-un to gain leverage and establish that he's coming to the table from a position of strength.
Fox's Rachel Sutherland. And the state auditor says the former maintenance foreman for the Strongsville City Schools treated the district like his own personal home improvement store. Auditor David Yost says Robert Schwarman has a John Deere utility vehicle, a zero-turn mower, and a whole house generator and more at his home. Over $65,000 worth of school district property that he took home with him. He's been indicted on theft and office charges. More 1480 WHBC News at 10.
Hall of Fame City weather.
Here's your AccuWeather.com forecast. A lot of clouds around today and a shower or two. At least it's still on the warm side. The high 76. Tonight we'll start to get some clearing with a low of 60. And tomorrow looks gorgeous with partly sunny skies and a high of 80. Rather cloudy with showers, especially by the afternoon Friday. It'll be breezy and not quite as warm with a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
All right. To our second half of Spotlight this Wednesday morning.
Don't forget, you can always watch us on Facebook as well. Just go to our Facebook page, 1480 WHBC, and find us and like the page, and you can watch all of the videos, and we would love for you to do that. But, of course, you can also listen online at WHBC.com. We'll have a podcast of this there. You'll be able to find it at the website. So,
yeah,
a lot of ways to listen.
Hey, before we get back to the foster parenting thing, I know you have a lot of services, and you're also expanding. You just opened up in Brook Park area, which is my old hometown back in the day, and expanding. So tell us about the expansion of Pathway. What's going on?
Yeah, it's been very exciting these last few years. So we've established services in more of the rural parts of Stark County, so providing school-based and outreach services in Minerva and East Canton schools, as well as Malvern, and over in Damascus at West Branch schools, and recently in Brook Park. So Brook Park is our largest satellite office, and we have both our foster care services and our mental health services up there.
All right, and you say you're in the schools. What do you mean by that? Expand a little bit.
Yeah, so we have school-based therapists and case managers who are based in those school districts and work with the children who are in the school during the school day. So there aren't any appointments that parents have to take their children to. The services can all happen in the school. We would reach out to the homes if the families desired that and if it was appropriate, but the services can all take place within the school.
All right, and then when you say services, it's not just for foster parents.
No.
So expound a little bit on that. Maybe families are talking, going, maybe we could use some help. Is that
for sure?
how it
Yeah,
starts?
we work with any family that has a desired need. So whether your family is experiencing a loss in the family or going through a divorce, maybe your child's struggling in school academically, making friends. There's many reasons that families reach out for help. And so our 800 mental health clients primarily come from those types of situations.
Now, when people are considering whether or not they want to do this, say somebody's sitting there listening right now, and they're saying, well, I'm scared, though. I don't know what's going to happen, or I'm apprehensive about things.
Yeah, it's just that it's that original stigma that you talk about.
Yeah, you're
it's
sitting
like,
there
what does that mean?
So, I mean, Christy, what would you say to those people if they were, the negative things are in their head and saying they're telling themselves the reasons why they're not going to do it?
Well, I would say that's a good thing, because I think you're having realistic expectations then. I think you want to go in informed. I think you want to talk to Pat, and I think you want to go through the orientation. I think you want to talk to people who have fostered. And I mean, I've met all kinds of foster parents. I've met single, retired foster parents. Maybe you want to start out just doing respite. You go through the exact same training, but I mean, our family depends on respite. So one whole weekend a month at least. There's been times it's been 2 weekends, depending on how the month has gone, where our foster child goes to a respite licensed home through Pathway for the weekend. And we can just kind of catch our breath and regroup a little bit. And that's a really healthy thing. And so I think going into it with these questions, but I wouldn't let that keep you from doing it. I think I would just encourage you to pursue it.
Yeah,
and to talk to people who have been there, done that, and can give you good information.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's because there are obviously in any situation like this, you're definitely going to have questions. And let me reintroduce everyone because I want to make sure we tell folks the spotlight today, Pathway Caring for Children, celebrating 45 years, I might add, which is an amazing amount of time doing this. But we have recruitment director Patricia Lott with us. We have Marcy Girdlestone, who's the mental health director, and you just heard Christy Kadlacek, foster mom. Boy, I've said it 3 times in a row now.
It's not my turn next. I said,
that's
I
what
don't
phonetics will do for you.
Okay.
But like I said, I think there's people, you may have this in your heart. You feel like you want to help kids. You want to do something. But, you're never going to know unless they come and talk to you, right?
Right, exactly. And Christy was talking a little bit about respite, which I love respite. It usually turns out to be a little honeymoon period, so it gives people who are getting their feet wet a very good experience. It's great for the child, it's great for the new foster parent, and it's great for the family that is receiving the break, the actual respite. So as Christy said, you would go through the exact same process. You would become licensed through our agency. And then, we're totally fine. We need people that just do respite. So respite could be a Friday through a Sunday. It could be, it has to be a period less than 2 weeks. And it's usually pretty well established where sometimes, Christy, you may use the same person that does your respite. Is that?
Yes,
sometimes
we do. For the most part, we try to. Just
the
for
child likes
consistency.
that. Right, right. So, sometimes people say, I don't want the break. I don't need it. The child may feel disappointed then. We urge our parents, and as Christy had just said, everyone needs a break. And you regroup, you re-energize, and it's a good feeling for everybody.
I would imagine for the kids, too, sometimes they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. If they're away from you, they say, I kind of miss being there, maybe a little bit.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. And because I was, as Pat said, when they recommended that we do respite, I just felt so guilty about that. Like, oh, this poor child already has rejection. And so now he's going to feel like we're rejecting him as well. But, it was really good advice. They just really encouraged, for the longevity of a placement, you need to take breaks now and then. And so we have, and I found that to be true. I found that it has made our foster child appreciate our family, not because the respite was bad or anything like that, but I think just, and the longer he lives with us, the more he's attaching to our family and wanting to be a part of it. That does take a long time. Every child's different, so I don't want to say it always takes a long time. In our particular case, it's taken a long time. And so, and it'll be ongoing, but I see he's happy to come back, and I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
Wasn't always the case.
Right.
But that's good.
So you're saying that the training will begin in June, at some point in June. What will entail in that training? What will happen in that training?
Well, these are state mandated courses that the families are required to take to have a therapeutic foster care license. The trainings are interesting. There's a different trainer. We rotate several trainers. Gives you a little different impression of how things go. One of our trainers is a very seasoned, longtime foster parent who also has been part of our staff too. And she has many stories, and it sort of draws you in. You get to learn, the good, the bad, and the other.
Yes, and that's good. I mean, obviously, you have to full disclosure with the whole,
right.
The more you know, the better you are.
Absolutely. How long is that process, that training?
It's probably about 2.5 months total.
Okay, so they go through this, and how much time commitment is it for the training?
The training is 6 hours a week, so a Tuesday and a Thursday evening for 3 hours, and there's 13 sessions.
Okay, so and is it a mandated specific? What happens if they miss one? Can they make it up? What
we
what
make
goes
up
through?
classes. Yeah, of course, life happens, so we're always doing makeup classes. It's ideal when people are able to attend in consecutive order because they get the most in the learning curve there. But absolutely, we of course provide makeup classes.
Now, is there a cost to this training?
There is. Good question, because so many people think there's a cost. There is no cost at all to the person coming in to start the process.
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, how do they do that? They contact you right away?
They would contact me, and my number is 330-818-0444. Check out our website at pathwaycfc.org. Learn a little bit more about us. And one more little plug for today, the third Wednesday of each month, from 12 to 1 is a little quick stop tour. Anyone that today by chance happens to have some extra time, stop out to our office on Dressler Road, attend this tour. It gives you a little bit about what our agency is about.
Great idea. Great way to learn.
All right, why don't we take our final break, and then we'll come back with a little bit more of a wrap-up. We'll find out if you've earned your angel wings yet, or how many times over when we come back.
Demand. A powerful word meaning dictate, call, command, to want something now. So when we at News Talk 1480 WHBC say on demand, we put the power in your hands. WHBC.com. Command the latest news when you want it. Call the latest weather and traffic when you need it. Dictate audio with our stream and podcasts anytime you desire. On air and on demand. WHBC.com.
Do you have a job? Do you have $99? Do you want a new car? Then get to Wacom Kia today. With a job and $99, get up to $30,000 in credit. 30 grand. Plus, you could get out of your lease or loan today, even if you still owe thousands. Now that's the Wacom way. Do you have $99? Do you want a new car? Then get to Wacom. Wacom Kia. On the Wacom Auto Mile, call 800-NEW-RIDE. That's 800-NEW-RIDE. During America's Best Value Summer Sales Event. To qualified buyers.
See dealer for details with approved credit on select models. Get a truck for $1. Now at George Wacom Ford. Our largest selection of trucks, $1 down. Plus, if you need credit, now's the time to get it. All you need is a job and $1. You can get out of your lease, get out of your loan today, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. New trucks, pre-owned trucks, regular cabs, Super Cruise, Super Cabs, and 4x4s. You can get a truck for $1. Now that's the Wacom way at George Wacom Ford. Visit the Wacom Auto Mile on West Tusk and Lincoln Way. Call 800-NEW-RIDE. That's 800-NEW-RIDE.
Considering assisted living for a loved one, Copeland Oaks Assisted Living is all-inclusive, one rate for all care needed. Copeland Oaks understands that seniors needing assistance need more care as they age in place. As a Christian nonprofit organization, it is Copeland Oaks' mission to give the best to the generation that has given their best to us. Assisted living at Copeland Oaks Retirement Community, just east of Alliance off of Route 62. Call 330-938-6126 for a visit or find us on the web at copelandoaks.com.
Air conditioner overheated? Whether it's a quick fix or time for something new, you need a dealer who knows what it takes to keep things cool. And a Bryant dealer does whatever it takes. And it takes attention to detail, the right tools, and friendly, knowledgeable service. Bottom line, it takes a Bryant dealer to keep your family cool. It takes quality heating and cooling. Call 330-833-6025 or find us online at qualityheatingandcooling.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hi, this is Brad White, your Medicine Center pharmacist. Are you paying big bucks for a little blue Viagra pill? There's a better alternative. Starting at only $4 per dose with a prescription from your doctor, the Medicine Center Pharmacy can prepare a sildenafil or tadalafil tablet that melts in your mouth for an affordable price. This allows you to take care of business and still have money left over for dinner and a movie. The Medicine Center Pharmacy has 4 locations in Stark and Tuscarawas counties. We're here to keep you healthy and save you money. Give us a call at 330-339-4466 for more information.
Hi, this is Victor at Hayden's Auto Glass. Some companies like to brag up their guarantee as a means to sell their services. Yes, guarantees are important, but don't confuse a good guarantee with good workmanship. The promise to guarantee something is easy. Exceptional workmanship is very rare. At Hayden's Auto Glass, duplicating the factory is at the heart of every windshield we install. Yeah, we have a lifetime guarantee, but the best guarantee of all is the one you never have to use.
Hayden's Auto Glass. The difference is clear.
When it's time for your knee replacement, contact Ohio Specialty Surgical Suites. OS3, Spectrum Orthopedics In-House Surgery Center, is the first ambulatory surgery center in Northeast Ohio to perform outpatient hip and knee replacements. That's right, you go home the same day. Spine, sports medicine, joint replacements, and shoulder surgery are also done at Spectrum's Outpatient Surgery Center in North Canton. Talk with your physician to find out if outpatient joint replacement is for you. Spectrum Orthopedics and OS3, they've got you covered.
It's the little things. Like a perfect barbecue. Who wants cheese? Or finding the hottest deals in town at Peebles' lowest prices of the season sale. Friday through Sunday, get a whopping 65% off women's and kids sandals, Carter's apparel, and women's styles from Hannah and Rebecca Malone. We've got more doorbusters too, including 70% off home decor. It's our lowest prices of the season sale. Don't miss it. Fresh styles, big savings, and fun perks every day. Peebles. Little things mean everything. Peebles is part of our Stage family. Offer exclusions apply.
Now back to Spotlight with Pam and Gary.
Okay, very educational morning, but we need a call to action. We need you to pick up the phone and follow through on this. I think it's a great opportunity.
Give them your phone number one more time while we're
I'd love to hear from you
mentioning
out there.
this. Yes.
330-818-0444. And please check out our website at pathwaycfc.org.
Pathway Caring for Children, our spotlight on Stark County today. And I was asking you off the air, and I'm sure people were concerned about it, the financial side of it, taking care of these kids. How does that work?
Absolutely. Well, you do receive a per diem, so a daily rate of pay, and that is determined by the rate of care that the child comes in from the county. That's a little complicated sounding. The money is supposed to be able to pay for room and board, and you are supposed to be able to afford your other regular living expenses on your own. Of course, being a private agency, we do have little perks, and I like to feel that some of those perks help for if the money is not quite what someone might think that it should be. We have ongoing events for families. We have ongoing training, of course, where there's childcare provided, holiday activities and parties. We have summer camp that goes on for a week in summer, which is a therapeutic camp. And of course, the child then does receive the Medicaid card. So there is no out-of-pocket expense for sick child, well child visits, vision, mental health services, prescriptions. So there's no cost to you.
Okay, and why don't we, Christy, why don't you explain, your feelings about that? I mean, how did it work for you? It's worked out okay for you?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, personally, I feel like it has been enough. I think we were talking on break that, there's foster parents that both work and still foster. It just depends on the situation. One of our requirements was that I stayed at home, and I was just working part-time last year, and so I feel like it's very comparable to what I would have brought home. I mean, I don't have childcare expenses or anything like that. So, and if our child goes to respite, we don't receive payment. The respite provider does. Mm-hmm. But Pathway compensates us with a clothing allowance extra because they feel bad that we're giving up the weekend, which, I didn't even know that. And I saw, why are we getting this extra payment? And they said, well, that's for a clothing allowance when he's in respite, just to kind of help out. And so, I think they really try to support the family in kind of some creative ways.
All right, so it's not really foster parenting and you're on your own. I think the real lesson we're learning here is, okay, I'm a foster parent and that's not the case.
No.
This is a whole wraparound services, if you will.
Absolutely. And something like we have some dear friends who didn't go into the training, but they came into Pathway and got fingerprinted so they could be approved as like day providers. So we had a wedding we had to go to, and so they came and picked him up and had him for the day.
Okay.
And so they were able to do that. So I think it's building, some friends like that who are willing to even do that to support you.
And you're talking, I was saying this also, we're talking 0 to 19, 18?
Yeah, our foster homes are filled with children of all ranges, and specifically the need for the newborns who are being born addicted to opiates and coming straight from a hospital with very detailed nursing instructions to foster parents who are being required to get trained by these medical professionals in case there was an episode with this newborn baby during the detox situation. It's very sad.
Well, you just don't even like to hear that, do you?
No, it's very troubling. But we're so fortunate because our foster parents are amazing, dedicated, loving people who are willing to go to the hospital and be specifically trained to take these fragile children into their homes. And even though they are too young for mental health support from us, the families are not. And so we are still there with our mental health support for the family. I think Christy said that it's not just about the child, it's about taking care of the entire family. Because if the foster parents aren't in a good place or their children are not in a good place with what's happening, then the placement's not going to be a success. And it's important to us that placement is a success for everybody.
Wow. So wraparound services, you help out in this Foster Parent Appreciation Month, I guess. What you're saying is you've got a great number of them, but the need is still there for more.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. This month we have had 2 celebration dinners, one in Canton and one in Brook Park. Our families came to Golden Corral and just had a great night of food and fellowship, and everyone feeling good to be choose. So, yes.
And you chose the restaurant that every kid wants to choose.
You should
right?
have seen, yeah.
It's like, if another one at Golden Corral. but the kids absolutely
the
love it.
Machine was
yes,
the hits.
that's what it is.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely.
Well, what about we'll wrap up here in a few minutes and give more information on how folks can get in touch with you. But what about the process of going from foster to adoption? Is that a long time process when that occurs?
It's not. When you become licensed with our agency, your license is a foster to adopt license. So you would already be ready if the event comes up with the child in your home and the child's been with you for 6 months or more. And the county is looking to put the child on PC, permanent custody status, where they're, of course, looking for a forever home then. You, as the foster parent that has had the child, would be the first one asked. So I have had parents that didn't come into it thinking they were going to adopt, but then they end up doing that. Yeah. And so it's a pretty easy transition.
Easy transition, but a tough decision to make.
Tough decision to make. And we do have parents that they just want to foster. I love that too. I love people that are loving and nurturing the children just in the middle and keeping them safe for wherever their next journey may be, back with a family member or maybe into a forever home then. So
and that adoption decision is something that our mental health team then comes into play to work through. Is this a good decision for the family, for you as the parents, for the child? Is this the best placement for their forever home? And even then working towards adoption and after adoption, we have comprehensive post-adoptive support services where families who have adopted and maybe things are a little more challenging than they expected, and they can come in and receive very specific post-adoptive therapy and case management services to support the preservation of that adoption.
Yeah, I'm thinking that for the children, it's a traumatic experience from one to the other to the other.
It is, and a lot of people think, well, the child's been there for 2 years, and so they're going to be adopted. What's the big deal? It is a big deal. There's something about that being final, that this is my family. As Christy said, these kids a lot of times don't know how to be part of a family. Yeah. And as a foster child, it's temporary. But then you become adopted. That forever family, to us, sounds like a great ending.
Yeah.
And to them, it can be really scary.
Yeah, but that's just all a part of that process in life as you go through.
It is.
Wow. All right. Well, we've got just a few more minutes, and again, I guess I'd like to go back to you, Christy, and just ask you a few questions about, where do you go from here? And you've been through all of this. What have you learned? And I want to go back to the question I started asking earlier about how do you feel today versus how you started then? I mean, do you feel much more comfortable now? Are you feeling, I think I got this down, or is it still something new every day?
Oh, that's a really good question. I think my expectations are different than they were 25 plus years ago. I think I used to think if you did A plus B, then you're going to get C, right? So if you provided this stable home and you loved on this child, then this child should act like this. And so now I know you still do those things, but it's not a guarantee that that's going to happen. I think, though, you have to look at it. We do see improvement. We do see good change, but it's also then it goes back. It's like that 2 steps forward, 8 steps back, but you're still moving forward.
Right.
So I think my expectations are different, and also what we learn from these children. It's not just about them. It's also what they teach us about ourselves. Our faith is really important to us. We depend on that a lot. Our church, shout out to Parkside Green, have been very supportive. They have a support group that started because we have other foster adoptive families, and we meet once a month on Sunday mornings. That's been really good. They provide respite one night a month for an evening for whole families who have either high needs or foster children for an evening. So I guess I would say that my expectations are different. And I don't try to look, I think the first time around, I was looking down the road and making decisions. And even with your biological children, we can all relate to that, right?
Yep.
You hit bumps, you hit valleys, you hit some hard seasons, but, you stay the course. And I guess the silver lining is that we have relationship with our foster kids from 25 years ago. We still have contact with them.
Yeah, that says everything right there. We got to wrap it up right now. Phone number real quick.
330-818-0444 is my direct line to reach me to find out about fostering.
For everything WHBC, news, weather and sports, community, politics, world news, personality blogs, and more, log on to